I may not be a fall baby, but I love this time of year. Autumn in New York is crisp air, cozy sweaters, and warm flavors just make everything feel comforting. I mentioned I'm getting married. Super busy, everybody is in town, and I want to look my best. Healthy eating is the primary focus, and with Green Chef, the #1 meal kit for clean eating, you can do just that. Green Chef makes it easy to spend less time in the kitchen and more time enjoying fall. And with their new Heat and Eat meals, enjoy a delicious, wholesome meal in just 3 minutes. Perfect for supporting your wellness journey, Green Chef recipes feature fresh, organic, seasonal produce and 100% responsibly sourced proteins to help you feel your best. Green Chef's real clean ingredients help you build lasting, healthy habits without the hassle. Enjoy salads ready in just 5 minutes, protein-filled breakfasts, or nutrient-rich smoothies to fuel your day. Green Chef is ready to nurture your nutritional needs. I use this and you should too. I mentioned I'm getting married. Oh my goodness, it is the week of the wedding. Oh my goodness, I mentioned I'm getting married. It's the week of the wedding. Diego and I have been cooking up a storm, but we don't have a lot of time, so we just tried their baked lemon pepper tilapia with feta. It was the perfect nutritional meal to keep us energized. I loved the feta cheese to give it a little bit of extra oomph. It's so delicious. You'll love it as much as we did. Make this fall your healthiest yet with Green Chef. Head to greenchef.com/50tags and use code 50tags to get 50% off your first month, then 20% off for 2 months with free shipping. That's code 50tags at greenchef.com/50tags.
Hey, this is Michael Rosenbaum.
Hey guys, Tom Welling. Look, we've both played heroes.
And we both played villains. But in the real life, there are no reshoots, no stuntmen, or sequels.
We all make mistakes. We're all human.
Making one bad decision can not only land you in jail, but could also put yourself and other people around you in serious risk.
Be smart, make a plan, catch a ride, stay put.
Your decision to drink and drive could permanently change someone else's world, whether you injure them or leave their loved ones grieving. This holiday season, be your own hero. Drive sober or get pulled over.
Paid for by NHTSA.
Happy holidays! Want to give your host a gift? Consider subscribing, rating, and reviewing the show this holiday season. It really helps the show grow. From all of us at Believe, have a Merry Christmas, everyone, and a Happy Holiday.
What is going on? You are watching and, of course, listening to Tags Live, aka Talk About Gay Sex, the live edition, where we're here every Wednesday night on the Crowdcast platform. I am your host, Steve V, alongside Cody Maurice Doggett. How the hell you doing, Cody?
Hello, darling. I'm doing wonderful this evening. Doing wonderful. It's good to see your face.
It is. I know. This is episode 720, and we are in front of a live virtual audience. So we want all of you listening, watching to chime in, and we are taking it to part 2. We were talking on episode 719 all about the year ahead. We were projecting our sex lives for basically, with Jeremy Ross Lopez, you and I, we were talking about what worked this particular year. I mentioned that I got married. We talked about connected sex. We talked about Jeremy's relationship. We talked about you being a ho, 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 I think was your words. And all of it, man. We're asking
my poor mother.
We were asking the big sexy questions. Have we been connecting or just come collecting? And on this episode, it's round 2, part 2. We're talking about connection after the come. Why gay men stay, ghost, or pull away after sex. And like I said, episode 719, Cody, we really got into it. And the one part that I really liked is we really were self-reflecting on what our sex year was like and taking that and looking at where we want to go. And a lot of it stems from my new app, which is all about connect and confidence. That's the name of it, by the way. I'll give where you can get that at the end of this, but it's really giving those tools to find deeper relationships, and it doesn't always have to be about love, although dating is part of my new app, creating a plan for yourself. But then ultimately, it's about just deeper connections and getting rid of those ones that aren't serving us anymore. And when we talk about connection versus culture, which is the setup for tonight we're going deeper into what happens after sex. Why do some men cuddle and others sprint for their pants like they're in a triathlon? And we want to hear from you, listening audience, on your experiences, on when you hooked up with somebody and when it worked and you kind of wanted it to last a little bit longer. Well, what actually happens after orgasm is something that's really interesting, because we were talking, Cody, about that recently, about what's chemically going on and how everybody at post-orgasm deals with it a little bit differently. Some of us want to go work out. Some of us are not interested in sex after that. Some of us want to have up to 5 orgasms again within the next hour. And I think that's really interesting. But when you meet up with somebody and you connect with them, Cody, what about cuddling, pillow talk, immediately showering, checking the phone, ghosting, avoidance, intimacy? I want to talk about all of those things, but I couldn't help but think I started really getting into Heated Rivalry, the new show on HBO Max, and we are up to date. Diego and I are up to date, and I really loved episode 3 because it looked at a different storyline than the first 2, and I don't want to give too much away.
Yeah.
But the first 2 I felt was a lot of what we're going to talk about on right now, about it's the Russian and the Canadian, and one of them, the Canadian, is totally into the other one. They can only meet when they get together, but showering immediately after is totally a part of what you see in the show. Ghosting happened in another episode, and it's just this built-up tension on, are they going to be together? Are they not going to be together? What's going on? But have you watched that show yet?
I'm addicted. I probably watch every episode 3 times now. It's when I jack off to it.
Oh my goodness. It is kind of,
it is super hot. It's super hot. So, and then like all the guys' bodies there and their faces. I should look at their faces sometimes. They're all beautiful. So yeah, I've watched every episode. I haven't watched them more than once. But I do think that there's a lot going on in these relationships, as far as it's very easy to think of these Heated Rivalry as a lot of fluff, I feel like, and it is, but I think that like the motivations of the characters are very indicative of what's going on in the community at large. There's a lot of self-hate in both of the main characters. They don't want to come to terms with their sexuality. I feel like they have to hide. So there's a lot that's there, and I feel like a lot of people can see themselves in these 2 characters. Now, as far as the sex and leaving afterwards, that is a whole thing. They both, I think in the notes that you sent me, one of the reasons why people get up and they leave immediately afterwards is because of shame. And I feel like that hits the nail on the head for these 2 characters. Yeah. So I think there's a lot to unpack there. I think that if you want to see it as fluff, you can, but if you want to dig a little deeper, you can as well.
I couldn't help but thinking, wow, I went into the wrong sport back in the day, gymnastics, where there's not a lot of money. And it's
I was going to say there's a lot of gays there. So
it's like being a gymnast when I was younger, up until going into college, my parents had to spend a lot of money to be in that sport. But ultimately, when you get on a team, and I got on the UC Berkeley team, it's not like there's a lot of money going around for gymnasts at all. Even when you go to the like Olympics later on. And on this one, I'm like, I wish I lived on the East Coast or somewhere where it was cold, because hockey, it turns out there's like a lot of money. Did you see these apartments, these penthouses that they're renting, living in?
Beautiful.
They're bringing back the last
episode. Can you skate though? Can you ice skate?
I can ice skate. Yeah.
You would have been like, I would have learned.
You're too late now, but that ship has totally sailed. But I was like, wow, the money is in professional hockey, and these sex scenes are really good, but I does deal with some of the things that we're talking about, and it has to do with cuddling, that whole when you've met somebody that you like, that you connect with, and how do you take it to the next level? And I think we've talked about it on this show before, where I can separate. I brought people back before that I really liked, and you do that whole thing where you exchange phone numbers before you leave because you feel like it's the right thing to do. And
I
you
call.
might, and I sometimes have pretty much a lot of the people back in the day when I brought them home, I felt like I wanted to take it to the next level. And we would do that exchange, and maybe we would even connect here and there, but nothing would really occur post that. Do you find that? I know you're not right now looking for a relationship at all. Are they texting you, or do you even give your number for them to text you back?
I give my Instagram, and
Are they DMing you?
They are DMing me. Yeah, I think that I feel like I come, I'm forthright with a lot of people about where I am as far as wanting a relationship. But I think that they just want to, I think that they're kind of in the same place too, at least the people that I, express my feelings to. And they just want to hook up again. And I'm a busy man, so I really don't hook up. I haven't done a lot of repeat customers. There's definitely a couple people that I have done repeats with, but and I have more that I want to, but there's so much ass and so little time. Oh my God,
I love that. I mean, there was a time where I had a person that I met on the naked beach that ultimately turned out to be like a fuck buddy, and he would come every 2 weeks, literally and figuratively, to my place, and we had chit chat at the beginning. I knew a little bit about his life from social media. We would talk basically about what's work or whatever, and then we would get to it, and it was really great. We would, because we knew each other's bodies and what each other liked, I think he would tell me, oh, when I get there, be in a thong, and I want to take it off with my mouth. And that was really hot. So I would have a different thong.
Gotta write that one down.
Yeah. And we would go from there, and it was really hot. And I think, but that was like a friends with benefit type situation.
Yeah.
Not somebody I met on the apps, or it was somebody that I just really met out and about, and it was really fun. But I knew he was in a relationship and it wasn't going to go anywhere from that, so I didn't spend any time. Could you meet somebody now as a friends with benefits, but that you knew they were okay with, oh yeah, no, I'm not looking for a relationship right now, but the sex is so good, let's keep going? Because as most of us know, sex gets better each time, or it should, I feel.
Yeah, I think there's definitely, that is probably my main goal right now, because I am not looking for a relationship. I am looking to put together a roster of
a little black book
of sex partners, fuck buddies, friends with benefits, if you will. So that is not my focus, but that would be lovely for me. It would be a great thing if I could find a couple people that I could have sex with frequently, and and do all the things. I love to cuddle. I am a cuddle monster. I am a great cuddler. I'm like an anaconda when I cuddle people. So just for everybody out there, get ready.
Do you typically stay after at any of these hookups currently? If it's really good, if they suggest, hey, do you want to stay over, or what's the protocol?
I've stayed over a couple times. There's 2 or 3 guys that I have stayed over their house. One is kind of a horror story. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So this guy I've hooked up with him maybe 4 times in total, and he would after the first 2 times, he like blocked me on social media, and for no reason that I could know of. I thought the sex was good. We had a good time. We like kissed and made out still. I didn't stay over overnight that time. And then he blocked me. And then maybe like a month later, 2 months later, then he got back in touch with me. And again, it happened. We started to have sex. I spent the night at his house the 4th time that we had sex, and we were cuddling, we were kissing and all those things. Like, and then I left and he blocked me again. And I was like, I don't understand why he keeps doing this.
Is going on.
He just texted me yesterday talking about, hey, how are you doing? Can you come over? Can you come over? And I'm like, I don't want to talk to you. This is not, I can't.
So he's blocking you and unblocking you?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's some red flags there. Pictures,
super red flags. And I was telling my friends the other day, and she was like, this is not, it's something that's going on with him. I have no idea. I don't know if I want to know what's going on with him, because I think that I just need to kind of step back from this situation. I have not responded to any of his messages recently, because this just happened yesterday, and I don't think I'm going to.
It sounds like episode 3 heated rivalry, and your girlfriend is the same girlfriend that's in that episode.
Yeah.
Girl. It's really good if you haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, I don't get it. But I think that maybe just like what we're talking about, perhaps the intimacy could be too much for him. Maybe he sees that he could actually like me, and he doesn't want to like me. I get that a lot. People like me and they don't want to like me, but so
have you thought about asking him when he texts you,
hey, I'm not talking to that man no more?
But the sex was really good 4 times. That's a lot.
Yeah, and it was good. It was good every single time. And yeah, he's got a beautiful apartment too and a cute dog. So I don't think I'm gonna. Yeah, I don't think it's worth the emotional trials that it's putting me through, because it's triggering to kind of like be ghosted over and over again. And I'm worth more than that. How about that? I know that I am.
Yeah, I would say, like, if we were to talk about the biggest green flag, if you stay over on could this go somewhere else, is if they offer you coffee or even, dare I say, breakfast. Episode 3, you all heated rivalry.
Yeah.
But I remember I was talking on episode 719, a person that I dated, had hot sex with in the 90s, and then met him up in 5 or 6 years ago. And when I would go to San Francisco, I would see him, and I was like, oh, is this just going to be, I thought it was just us hanging out. And then it turned into more. And I stayed over. He made me breakfast the next morning, coffee in bed. And that's where I knew this was going somewhere, a really big green flag. And we did carry on for as much as I could get back to San Francisco, 2 or 3 times a year for a couple of years. This lasted. Mm-hmm. Ultimately, obviously, it didn't work out, and that's fine. And we're not enemies or anything, but it was a green flag versus like ghosting and all those things. And sometimes you got to really read what's going on, or are they just kicking you out? And those are the ones that I think, again, episode 3 of that episode.
We are promoting heated rivalry.
I know.
But for me, I find it's either one of 2 things when they invite you over for breakfast, or they ask you to stay and they make you breakfast and make you coffee. It's either they want something more, which I have had happen. We used to call this guy I used to date at where I was working at the time, they used to call him Granola, because he would give me granolas, bars, and coffee and all this different kind of stuff. So that was very cute. But I've also had it to where recently, because I let this person know that I wasn't looking for a relationship, he was just a really nice guy, and he just he cooked me eggs with feta cheese in them, and we had coffee. I know, but he doesn't, I think he's got a new boyfriend right now, and it's only been like 4 months since we hooked up, and he knows that I wasn't looking for anything, but he's just a very genuine, kind person. So I think that could be another indicator as well. So you never know. You have to like gauge it and look more into the person and where they're coming from.
I agree with you, because I think sometimes you have to look at it. Could sometimes, is this just a kink? So for example, the time that my friends with benefit wanted to come over again and again, I did look at, so now we're sleuths online and we can figure out, oh, he's in a relationship,
Yeah.
but he wanted to come back more. And I realized it was more about how he met me on the naked beach and how I was naked there. And he wanted to see me each time, but in a thong. And because of my research and how it was more about the kink. And so we weren't making each other any sort of coffee, tea, or anything like that. And so I knew what it was. You really have to kind of do your research on this person and see where they're coming from and see if there's something more to this. Then flipping it, I mentioned on episode 719 that there was a period where I was actively looking several years ago and I went on speed dating. And on that episode, I mentioned that all I met was a friend. Well, I forgot I did go on a couple of dates. Yeah. One was just a nice dinner that didn't go anywhere and we chalked it up. I think we both were like, oh, this was nice to meet you. And I think we did say, oh, let's do this again. But I think we both knew nothing there. But I went on another date with a guy and it did go really well. So much so that we were making out and we were all into each other. And he was going to be going on a gay cruise like that weekend for a couple of weeks. But he was like, oh my gosh, when I get back, we have to get together. And
I remember this guy. I definitely do.
He never I never heard from him after that. It was so weird. And I guess I didn't have his social media to do my Sherlock Holmes to get
oh
a
my
little
God,
bit
I was thinking
more.
Sherlock Holmes too.
Thank you. Yeah. And nothing came from it. And I never got any answer. And so even when you go some of the routes of, okay, I'm going on speed dating and I'm going this other route, it is a numbers game. It is, but I do think you have to kind of put it out there what you really want. We're going to talk about that shortly in a second here. But do you want to add anything else to this particular conversation, what we're talking about?
Yeah, I just think that you can't, like you said, you can't predict it. You just have to look for the clues and really just be straightforward with people about where you are and where you're coming from, and cuddle as much as possible, guys, because I feel like it releases these toxins into your bloodstream that make you a much happier person. That's it.
I like that. And
I'm not a scientist. I don't know, but I feel
it
like
is a really good time of year to reflect on what you want. If you're going home for Christmas, it's a great time to maybe just have some fun and turn on the apps and see who you could meet. Maybe like me, you'll meet somebody that you ultimately connected with back in the day, and it can just be a fling. Flings are fun too, but I would encourage everybody to set your intention. Don't make those New Year's resolutions is my recommendation, but really put it out there what you're really looking for. That's what my new app does. It's all about connect with confidence. I'll give more on that in just a little bit. As we wrap up the year talking about sex and real intimacy, I want to remind you, deeper connection is possible for you. Hey, taking a break from the episode, I'm your host, Steve V, and that's what my new LGBTQ plus app, Connect and Confidence, is all about. Think guided tools, daily motivation, and practical steps to help you date with intention and feel confident in every part of your sexual and emotional life. If you're ready to show up differently in 2026, Connect and Confidence is your space. Go to studio.com/Steve V for the web version, or for the app version, go to studio.com/Steve V/connect. We were talking on episode 719 about projecting for 2026 on what we want. Whether you're in a relationship, whether you're single, whether you're somewhere in between, we were projecting. And I couldn't help but take note from somebody we've talked about on this show, Todrick Hall, over the years.
Before we do that, can I we do have a poll, guys,
Oh,
today.
yes, please.
So I'm going to make it visible right now. And the poll question is, do you like to cuddle after a hookup? Not in your relationship, because, that's for you and your therapist if you don't like to cuddle after making love to your partner. And so the two options for that are, yes, it makes the entire experience better, or nope, I like to come and I go. So those are your two options, and just go ahead
The
and
poll
take our
is
poll. I just voted.
live. Those watching us live, please take that poll. I will also put the same poll on our Tags Patreon community. Go to patreon.com/Tags podcast, where all week long you can take the poll and we'll read some of those results on next Tuesday's episode. But based on looking ahead, like we were in episode 719, Todrick Hall, choreographer, singer. He's a singer too, correct?
Yep. He's a writer. He does so much.
Yeah. Newly single. So he was in a relationship, and over the past year broke up with his boyfriend, but says that it's all mutual. He still loves him very much, and decided to, like we're talking about, put it out there on what he's looking for in a man and manifest, which I really believe in. Now, the first part, there was a page 1 and a page 2. Page 1, I thought, future man requirements. I'll read some of them. We'll discuss. Then we'll get to page 2, y'all. And that's where I think we can have some discussion. So number 1, funny, needs a sense of humor. I really like that. Number 2, spontaneous. Like that. I'm not very spontaneous at times, but I would, I appreciate that. Number 3, someone who can articulate how they feel and what I can do to be a better partner for them. I like that. You got to communicate.
That's amazing. Yeah,
that one's really good. Number 4, someone loyal that I can trust to tell me even when they fuck up or when I have. Well, that's really good. You have to be able to be vulnerable to your partner. Let them feel like they can be vulnerable to you. I always can tell when Diego is perhaps going through something and I push, and then we talk, right? And you have to be able to trust them. Very important. Number 5, talented or driven at what they do, must be passionate about something. I like that. Do you like that one?
I do. Yeah, I think it's completely. Personally, I like to have somebody who has some drive and just a vision for the future. So yeah. Passion. I love passion.
Number 6, aligned morally and ethically, and of course that would be individual to each person, but I agree with that one for sure. The things that you hold true to yourself, I think, and that is something I definitely felt with Diego early on, that I just feel so great when my family met him, when my friends met him, and but that's my morally and ethical, what I feel is. So that's individual. Number 7, someone who pushes me to try new things and be a better version of myself. I like that, right?
Yeah, that's great. I love a partner that can, make sure that you are, holding to what you want in life, and just can be your cheerleader at the end of the day.
Number 8, this one's funny. Must love musical theater. I think that's very specific. Fortunately, Diego loves musical theater. I might have to put must love Madonna, Janet, Halle Berry, Lisa Stansfield on there. But fortunately, whenever I play him, he loves them. But so, you
good.
Morph it to whatever. Yours would be what? Beyonce.
I mean, I do love Beyonce. Tamar Braxton. So.
Oh God. Okay.
Nina Simone. I love Nina Simone. So
okay. Must be empathetic and try to understand the Black experience if they're not Black. As I think that's really important. I mean, in our situation, we're both Latino, but he's from a Latin American country and I was born here. But I think we understand each other's experiences, but we're both of Latin culture, and I think that's really cool. What do you think about that one?
Oh, I love that. I think that I've dated a lot of people that did not understand or didn't care to understand what I go through as a person and a human being, as a Black person. So yeah, I think that that's wonderful. I think in a relationship, that should be one of the main goals, to learn about the other person and what their trials and tribulations have been in life.
Absolutely. And lastly, self-awareness. Nothing is worse than someone who can't read the room. So these are all really good. I'm not mad at any of them. It's when he had page 2 come out, it was future man requirements. I couldn't help but think of episode 719, where you said the gays have ADD. And the whole story behind that was, why are so many ADD? GayDD.
Yeah.
Yeah, GayDD. Why do so
sorry.
many? Yeah. And it was based on a study that looked at why are so many gay men single today. Well, part 2, page 2 of Todrick Hall might be some of those reasons, because on part 2, and he was putting them on his refrigerator, has things like, number 1, a big booty is my weakness, just saying. Number 2, must have unwavering respect and understanding that no one is better than Beyonce. This is non-negotiable. Okay. Number 3, just
that seems excessive.
Must want children. I literally have 4 kids, he said, laughing out loud. Maybe that was a take on something. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what he meant by that. I know it's 2025, he says in number 4, but must be okay with the idea of monogamy. I mean, that's not a biggie, but yeah. Number 5, this is big. Relationships are hard. I need someone with stamina and who's willing to roll up their sleeves and get their hands dirty when times get rough. Okay. Number 6, a connection to Wizard of Oz and Disney is I would be absolutely no. I mean,
it just says a plus, so I can kind of I could see his point. It says it is a plus. Just like I feel like the Beyonce one should have said that would be a plus, but he didn't say that.
Okay. No. Number 7, someone who isn't a coattail rider. I don't want a gold digger. Okay. And number 8, I don't do drugs or really drink. Doesn't have to be sober, but it can't be part of your identity. I guess these aren't that bad, but they're a little super specific, I think. What do you say?
They also seem like a little bit superficial. The big booty thing is, I mean, I get it. I'm a butt man too, but if I found a really good person with an average ass, I would totally take them. So
very kind of you.
Thank you. I'm a giver. I take one for the team.
Yeah, I mean, it was an interesting story that we were talking about, where a recent study shows that why are so many gay men single, and it was quite significant. And you mentioned maybe our standards are so high, maybe there's somebody always around the corner, but when you read Todrick's responses on what he's looking for in 20, I do like the idea of manifesting and putting it down on paper on what you really want, but can we get too specific? And I don't want to put certain things. I didn't have all of that. Some of those were already in my consciousness, I think, when I was looking for somebody. But I was also open to, many other things when I met Diego, one of which he loves country music, and alongside a lot of music that I like too. But he's introduced me to a lot of country music. Well, if we go hiking, that's part of the music we're going to hear, as well as a lot of what I like as well. And I just think it's a compromise, and you can grow and learn from each other. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Definitely agree with you 100%. I think it's more about getting to learn and respect the other person's point of view and perspective and what they like, because you're not going to like all the same. It would be nice if you liked all the same things, but how are you going? I think it's much better if you have differing views, so you can grow a lot more too. So I think that he should be maybe a little bit more open, and I feel like one thing I kind of agree with him on is, and not necessarily monogamy, because that's just specific for him. I feel like in a relationship, you both have to be on the same page as to what kind of relationship you want, whether it be monogamous or an open relationship. So yeah, I think that is
That's
Very
good.
important.
And the kids
He
thing
read
too, I
the first
think.
page.
The
He
kids
don't have
thing
4
too.
kids. He does not have 4 kids, so I think he needs to revise that.
Maybe it's his quote unquote children that follow,
Dogs,
that
probably.
in ballroom culture, that kind of situation that he takes under his wings. If maybe he was giving a wink and a nod to that, perhaps. I'm not sure.
She ain't no
But
mother.
yeah, but I would be careful in putting that on a piece of paper and putting it up and manifesting that, because you might be blocking out who you draw in. And there was funny because there was a article that reposted it, Gaye, and
Yeah.
they reposted that he only doesn't only likes to date
I know.
white men. And he was quick. He was like, well, I thank you for reposting that. I want to clarify that no, I like black men too. And in fact, I'd rather have people of color over white men. And he put that out there to clarify that, because he didn't want that in the universe. He was saying that so many of what people have seen him with have been white men, but he also says a lot of black men don't want to be put out in media. And so he has dated them. So
Is it just me, or has watching TV gotten way too complicated? There's a million different services and just too many bills to keep track of. Thankfully, there's Philo, a better way to TV. For as low as $33 a month, I get the channels I love: MTV, BET, Food Network, you name it. Plus, everything that AMC Plus has to offer. And guess what? They've added access to HBO Max Basic with Ads Plan and Discovery Plus, so I can enjoy all the best TV with one subscription. There are no contracts, no surprise fees, just one low price. And their DVR is awesome too. I can save everything I love on Philo for up to a year and skip the ads when I rewatch them. A total game changer. I signed up directly at philo.tv. That's philo.tv, so I could lock in the best price around. Philo's the easiest decision I've ever made. Now the hard one is trying to decide what to binge next.
Support for this podcast is brought to you by Walden University. Ever catch yourself thinking, what if I could go after what I actually want and really make a difference? You're not alone, and that's exactly why I want to tell you about Walden University. For over 50 years, Walden has helped working adults like you get the W, with the knowledge and skills to build the future you want and make a difference where it matters most. If you've been waiting for the right moment, this is it. Head to waldenu.edu and take that first step. Walden University. Set a course for change. Certified to operate by Chev.
Hi, friends. We are Dads and Daddies, a podcast about the lives and times of adult gay men in the here and now. I'm Brian Rubin Sowers, a married dad of 2.
And I am Judson Morrow, a resident daddy. Join us for frank conversations and personal stories of sex, love, relationships, parenthood, daddyhood, addiction, and so much more.
Find us on Instagram at Dads and Daddies Pod and listen to new episodes every Tuesday on all major platforms.
I mean, I get it. So
Interesting.
yeah.
I got to go see this exchange.
Yeah, exactly. Let's talk about an article that I was really surprised by, coming after a recent, basically we did a whole story on World AIDS Day. We did it with Lincoln, our co-host, on December 1st. And now we're talking about the harsh truth about HIV phobia in gay dating. HIV stigma remains baked into queer dating culture. And a recent study is showing that on the apps, a lot of people are seeing if HIV and they're getting really awful replies like, quote unquote, "You're disgusting. I don't know why you're on here." Seconds later, the profile disappears, suggesting somebody is blocked. Another one said he went out of his way to say that people could at least be more aware, ask questions, and understand the reality of living with HIV. Said the other person, 95% of people respond that way, but this was not the only response that people, there was a huge response of people that if they see somebody that is HIV on their profile, they are just looking away And what we were talking about on the show is you equals you and how people are undetectable today. And I couldn't imagine saying that. Do you see people in the profiles these days or hear any of that? Because apparently it's a reality that people are really turning away if you have HIV, you equals you in your profile, and just immediately HIV phobia is really real, even today in 2025.
Yeah. I haven't really come across it that much. But I did have after we did that episode with Lincoln about World AIDS Day, I did have somebody, a listener that wrote into me, and they just completely co-signed everything that you just said. They said that they had some really bad experiences with using the apps, and every time that they would reveal their status, people would just disappear or what have you. So it's gotten so frustrating for them that they just they listed in their bio now, and they've lost some people from that, but that I feel like they've made up a lot of peace of mind as far as that is concerned. And I was really, really surprised to hear that. So my heart goes out to him because he deserves the best in the world, I think.
Yeah, I wonder if it's definitely lack of education, but with so much going on the apps, I wonder if you didn't list it and just waited to meet up with somebody and start chatting with somebody that you could maybe mention it there. Maybe, do you think you need to put it on your profile? I don't think you need to put it on.
I don't think you need to.
Yeah.
I think disclosure is important. You have to feel safe in order to disclose. So I think that
I wouldn't put it on my, especially with the idea that are they selling our information? I personally wouldn't put that out there. I would wait till I had a one-on-one with somebody to talk to them. Given in this climate, I feel like I wouldn't want that because I feel like people are going to use it against you.
And there's still stigma. There's still stigma out there. So you don't.
And wait
you never
till
know.
you talk to a real person versus a bot or somebody that is taking advantage of you potentially, and actually see what they think about that. I feel like chances are, if you meet a real person within our community, they're not going to have that bias against or that HIV phobia. I would hope so. But then again, I don't know.
What if you don't even like them? What if you don't even like them? And you are not in any, like you are not in any position to bring that information to the forefront. Like what then? So I feel like, I think that for me personally, I wouldn't list it. And then when I got to know the person a little bit, I would reveal that. So yeah.
Yeah. And we're not putting out there that, we're STI free because maybe we don't know at the time. We're not putting out. I mean, really, when you hook up with somebody, you don't know where.
The other day, exactly.
You don't know where they've been, and
I don't know where I've been sometimes.
In between their checkup, and it's a risk. But I would wait till I have a conversation with somebody before I actually put it out there. I feel that would be my recommendation on that, especially with so much, HIV phobia out there. So, yeah. Okay.
I mean, it's working for him. So I can't.
The listener, it's working.
Yeah.
What part is working for him?
But listing it in his profile beforehand, he's weeded out a lot of ignorant people.
So,
to each their own. Yeah.
So then that's okay. Good. So that's really good. All right. Let us know what you think on that. We'll continue the conversation over on our Tags Patreon community, but it's time to get into hot topics. And we couldn't help but talk about Tristen Shukraft, who's been on this show before. You may know him from Mr. He provides HIV, even if you HIV PrEP medication and doxypap on his site Mr. and has been doing for years now. There's pop-up shops around certain major cities, and now he is taking over our gay communities from Puerto Vallarta. We were talking about the Trist Hotel that opened that was star-studded, the Abbey, Fire Island Pines. He's going as far as his recent one, which is Provincetown, Ptown, where he just bought the Crown and Anchor. And this is really exciting because I love Ptown and I love the Crown and Anchor. I think it could use a little refresh, and
Oh,
what
okay.
he's trying to continue and thrive, make it thrive as a landmark destination and preserve its decades-long legacy as the heart of Ptown queer community. As part of the acquisition, the property's 17-room hotel will be reintroduced as the Trist Provincetown, joining Trist's growing portfolio of LGBTQ plus destinations around the world. He has plans alongside this to open up in places like Rio de Janeiro, out in Fort Lauderdale. He's opening up a whole place in Wilton Manor, and so on and so forth. What do you think about this latest iteration that he is he taking over, or is he preserving our legacy?
I could see how people would think he's taking over, but I personally think that he is in it for the right reasons. I mean, he's in it to make money, number one, but also I think he wants to actually preserve, our culture, our safe spaces. I think that that's definitely something that's in the forefront of his mind. He mentioned it in the article, and just what he's done with Mr. and making sure that everyone has access to PrEP and life-saving drugs. So I think that personally, I have faith in his vision. So I really am looking forward to see what comes from this. I haven't been to Ptown, but this makes me want to go even more now.
Yeah. Shout out if you love Ptown. Jeremy, our co-host, just celebrated his birthday over the weekend. It was a Holly Folly bar crawl. They had so much fun there. It's actually becoming more than just a summer destination. I love it there as well. Can't wait to go next summer. I really want to take my sister. We should go since you haven't been there, but it'll be years before the Crown and Anchor, I'm sure, is the new version of it. But I did go to the Trist. We talked about it on this show. We covered it. And I do like where he's headed with all this. And he's on a rampage. So keep it going. Okay, moving on from that to, sadly, remember the show Finding Prince Charming? There was season 1, and Chad Spodick, sadly, it's been confirmed that he took his own life. The 42-year-old reality TV contestant death was confirmed in a statement issued under a GoFundMe page raising money for Spodick's funeral. I watched that season 1. I think there's a season 2, but I only watched season 1, and I remember him. And it's sad because he took his own life, and it just happened over the weekend, and it's really sad. I mean, a lot of the Finding Prince Charming host Lance Bass paid tribute to Spodick on Instagram, writing, "I am truly heartbroken about the sudden passing of our friend Chad. He was such a kind, sweet soul who loved his friends, his family, and his beloved pets so deeply, and I hope that now everyone else remembers him," added the host. And I went back and watched just on YouTube, the opening when they introduced themselves, and refreshed my memory of all the cast, but then of course saw him on there. And, thoughts and prayers to his family and his people that were surrounded by him. Especially, it's never an easy time when somebody takes their own life, but then you layer in the holidays, and it's just the friends and family are going through it. So we really share our thoughts and prayers to all of them.
Deepest condolences. That's right.
Absolutely. And then, Pornhub and a lot of these sites love to do their end of the year. What were we looking at all year long? And Pornhub, interestingly enough, saw a sharp rise in trans and femboy demand amid growing anti-trans views. And if you know anything about the country, at least here in America, or, J.K. Rowling in the UK, and I was watching a whole thing today. She lives here, but Martina Navratilova was talking about a whole thing on MSNBC. But I know she has huge trans phobia with that community. So as we know, all year long, the trans community has really taken so much brunt. We've done a lot of stories on this, but could you believe that that is one of the number one things looked at, including lesbian MILF grew 129%, while lesbian strap-on was up 62%. But here's where Femboy joined the world's top 10 search terms and was first among Pornhub's gay visitors, with cute femboy being up 79%, sexy femboy up 93%, and femboy hentai up 64%. Was that surprising to you?
Very. I'm not in fashion anymore. I'm not a femboy. I can't believe this.
I could only think of Fembot from Bionic Woman back in the day, which was a whole thing. But yeah, Femboy. Yeah, we have a story coming right up after this that is
let's do it.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Go ahead. Trans threesome was up. Let me read a couple more stats, and then I want to hear from you, because trans threesome increased 67%, trans amateur rose 49%, and the term queer, which is really interesting because when I was developing my app, not everybody was on board with the word queer because it hasn't always had the most positive, of course, term within our community, but others liked it. But the term queer increased 132%, while bisexual saw a plus 88% increase. But what about the trans increase on what people are looking at?
I think that personally, it's just become more taboo, and people like to see things that are taboo. So I think that as it's becoming increasingly less in fashion, I should say, I think that people are going to instantly gravitate toward it more because they're like, oh, I got to see it. I don't know if anybody can know. And plus, like, the Republicans, I'm sorry, this is generalization. They crash Grindr all the time. I think that they are
at all those conventions and yeah, exactly.
So I'm going to blame them.
But is it fetishization, or is it, it's just so interesting because we did stories all year long about taking rights away. Trans community is such a small percentage of the entire community. They have taken the entire brunt all year long of hatred, phobias towards them. And then to find out at the end of the year, Pornhub is saying there's an increase in that type of content. Are we fetishizing them, or is it really, I don't know what it is. It's, we need to look at that deeper, but what is going on? I want to say
we need for the people that are Googling it or looking it up on Pornhub to actually come forward and be like, so we
which
can
won't happen, them, but yeah,
which won't happen.
Yeah. Good luck on that one. Can hope. Yeah. But it does bring us to, I believe it was our next, yes. There was a recent, we love giving advice on the show, and today is no different from any other. We'll give our handles at the end of the show. You can go to our Tags Patreon community and always ask us for sex and relationship advice. But this one kind of relates to femboys, and they wrote on a Reddit thread, masculine attracted to femme. I'm mid-30s, gay and single. I want to find a relationship after being single for a few years. I'm very attracted to effeminate guys. They seem to catch a lot of hate and judgment in the gay community. Well, not according to Pornhub, but I think everything about them is cute and comforting. I'm pretty masculine, straight acting, or whatever people want to call it. People have a hard time believing I'm gay. I've come out to people before, and some assumed I was joking. I'm basically looking for tips to let femme guys know I'm interested and want a serious relationship. I mostly met my past boyfriends online and feel it's harder to meet folks in person. Otherwise, I just talk to them. I always hear how a lot of femme guys would love a masked gay man, so I feel I'm missing out because I'm now overly attracted to other masked guys. Looking for advice or input. The only thing I could think of was, because he's having a little bit of tough times online was I was recently at my friend's 30th birthday, and he was telling me of a story. I think he identifies bi, but to me, he looks very straight acting. And he was telling us of this woman that he saw on the street here in New York that was gorgeous. And he just went up to her, like in the, Columbus Circle, wherever. And she caught his eye, he caught hers, and he basically went up to her and said, "You're gorgeous." And I was like, oh my God, old school. I love it. And she responded, and ultimately they chit-chatted, and he said, "Can I take you out to dinner tomorrow night?" I loved that, and they went to dinner. Ultimately, it didn't work, but maybe. But do you think this would work for a femme guy and a very masculine looking guy who liked femboys? Because, and I say that because I sent both you and Jeremy a recent video of the importance of wearing the rainbow flag and what that could really mean in a workplace situation, and how that can actually make somebody feel very comforted when they see that symbol. In other words, waving the flag during Pride extravaganzas is one thing, but what it can actually mean to make somebody feel at ease and know that they are in a place that will not judge them.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you think perhaps that a femboy seeing this ultra masculine guy come up to them, but they're into them, could go awry and they might be feeling for their safety?
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I can see how, because me personally, I'm not, maybe Teddy thinks I am effeminate, but the world in general doesn't think that I'm
you have different sides of yourself, though, that you call yourself a blouse, but like when you're walking around the city, it's like, ooh, be careful of him.
Because Teddy called me a femme. That's what he said. I look femme.
But he sees you like on this show when you're letting loose. But if you go out with Cody and he's walking around, don't look at him in any funny way, because you're in all black and you mean business and you're not smiling at anybody. And I don't think you're femme when you're, and again, we are not making judgments on.
Yeah. Oh, definitely not. I was just making a little joke.
No, but I mean, you do not appear femme when you're walking around town. Yeah.
Okay. But what I was going to say was, even though I'm not necessarily the most effeminate person out there, I still am wary of like overly emasculated guys, and perhaps that they could take me back to the house and it could be like a setup or something like that. So you have to be very cognizant of that. And I know that extremely effeminate guys, I think that is something that they are very wary of, because I'm sure it happens all the time. So I definitely see how that can be an issue for them. And I think that for the future, I think that maybe if he did wear the rainbow, or if he was extremely genuine with them, I could see how they could take it as an actual safe space. So I think that he just has some work to do. And I think that the more that he has practice interacting with these femboys, I think that the more success he'll have.
Yeah, and if he was using online apps, if he was to use, because we talk a lot about sniffies, we had the marketing person early on, and you can really put a la old school Craigslist what you're looking for at any particular time on sniffies. You could put that you are looking for that on there, but then would that set up red flags? Oh, is this really somebody? I think you would have to do a little bit more due diligence on, no, I really am looking for this, and almost over talk it, I guess. Yeah. And then say, I'm willing to meet you in a cafe, in a public space, to put your mind at rest. And then I think, because I do think, sadly, it is a sad statement of our culture right now. There are people out there that could really be setting you up. And it's a really sad statement that we even have to say that, but we're looking out for our people. And I do even feel for this guy who's putting that out there too, because he really is attracted to, he's a masculine guy, really attracted to feminine guys, and that's beautiful, I think. But how you get there, and I just think you're going to have to be a little bit more careful. But say I'm willing to meet out at a public space so you can see. Bring your friend, even. I don't know, whatever. Get a little creative outside of the box in 2025, going into 2026, because it's probably not going away anytime soon.
That's right.
Fear that we have. But what are people saying?
Doug says that he's 6'3", 260 pounds. Hey, baby. No, sorry. And he has a beard, and he wears a pride pin on his jacket everywhere he goes. So you have to be cognizant of it. But people, it's just, something that people are going to automatically kind of assume. So I think that you just lead with genuineness and just kindness. So I think it'll work out, because I saw an Instagram couple today. One of them was extremely femme. The other one was he likes football and stuff like that. So, and they're a happy couple. So you never know where it could lead.
Yeah, and it's worth mentioning again. I'll try and post it on our Tags Patreon community, but it's a video that Diego sent me of what the power of the pride flag symbol can really mean beyond a pride parade. And it's this beautifully shot culmination of a montage of somebody going into work and their first day at work, and they're nervous as hell, and they sit down and the person unbuttons their thing and there's a little pride flag on their tie and they're at ease. It's another moment where a guy's on the subway with his legs crossed, and this burly guy sits across from him, and the guy uncrosses his leg across from him, and then he sees, on his messenger bag is a little pride flag, and he has a little smile that puts him at ease. So the power of that, it's a beautiful video. I'll post it on this tomorrow because it's so beautiful and I loved seeing it. And it's kind of what we're talking about. But now we want to give the last few minutes. I put it in our link. You can get that link if you're watching us live. I'll post it on Tags Patreon, our site. And we're down to the wire here on who took the best shot in 2025. We're nominating Thirst Trap King, and there's a lot of them. And you have to go through them. You have to really, I just went with my gut and picked mine. I'll tell you why in a second, but it's our job on an audio podcast, but you will have access to this if you go to patreon.com/tags podcast, episode 720. Click on the link there and vote, because we're now voting for Thirst Trap King. End of the year, who took the best not suitable for work picture of who got your fancy and why?
I am picking Caio Verón. There's so many on this list that I like.
Well, yeah.
There's so many beautiful men. I like
King.
Keegan Wicker. I like King Marcellus. I like Gio Scar. They're all
okay, but you just got to tell us why.
Caio Verón. I think I'm partial to the bathroom picture. I don't know why. I think it's just like my thing. So that's why he kind of won for me. But it's a beautiful picture. The tiling in the back is gorgeous. He's completely naked. He's got on like a name plate necklace. He's got his hands above his head. He's looking off into the distance longingly, and he's just got this huge flopping dick that is uncut and almost down to his knees. So I had to pick him because he's a beautiful, beautiful man. So yeah, he gets my vote.
Mine was William Edge. There was, again, so many to pick from, but I have to say he was sitting back. He's got kind of a military haircut, sitting back, nice hairy chest, but his dick is just shooting straight up. It's like 9, I don't know how many inches, nice balls. And then his legs are kind of wrapped around. So the camera angle is looking from his feet, and he has beautiful feet right directed towards his cock to a really nice face. And he's got great feet. I've said on the show, I'm into feet and cock and a nice face. He covers all of that, and he gets my vote. What are the people saying on who they're voting for?
The people love Leo Lewis. Renato Shippey, who is gorgeous. That was another one, another person.
What is he doing in there?
Let me look for Renato. Oh, I can already know he's on a bed. He's leaned all the way back. Again, he has a huge dick. All the dicks on here, I feel like, are they're pretty amazing, and I am awestruck by all of them. Let me see if I can find Renato really quick.
Doug says Leo Lewis. It was very difficult to pick one. I agree. Diego says K ecstatic. Okay, yeah, beautiful dick. That's a good one. And yeah, keep on voting because we want to pick
Lucas
the thirst
Moreno.
trapping. We'll report on Straight Up Gay Porn who they voted for. While you're looking for that, you can always follow my co-host on Blue Sky and on Instagram at Mr. Maurice. Follow me on the gram. I am _Steve V. Did we have another poll that we forgot about?
No, it was just one.
Just the one. Okay, good. Take our poll and go to tags, patreon.com/tags podcast. And in the meantime, Cody, continue having hot gay sex. Lovely.
Happy holidays! Want to give your host a gift? Consider subscribing, rating, and reviewing the show this holiday season. It really helps the show grow. From all of us at Believe, have a Merry Christmas, everyone, and a happy holiday. If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.
Hi, friends. We are Dads and Daddies, a podcast about the lives and times of adult gay men in the here and now. I'm Brian Ruben Sowers, a married dad of 2.
And I am Judson Morrow, a resident daddy. Join us for frank conversations and personal stories of sex, love, relationships, parenthood, daddyhood, addiction, and so much more.
Find us on Instagram at Dads and Daddies Pod and listen to new episodes every Tuesday on all major platforms.